Okay kids, back to lesson number 2. Hopefully lesson number 1 got you started off on what's really important getting back into school, and that's your short-term and your long-term goals. So we're going to amp it up a little bit. Today, we're going to be talking about SMART goals. Alright, SMART goals. SMART goals are how we take our short-term and our long-term goals and we make them applicable to what we're trying to do. And I'm standing here in front of several locations to help you see the short-term, long-term, and how that becomes a SMART goal. If you take a look over my shoulder over here, that's a Mercedes-Benz dealership. Nice automobile, Mercedes-Benz. So in my long-term goals, do I want to have a luxury car? Well, there's only one way I can get that, and that's if I make money. Well, I don't make money if I don't have a short-term goal of saying, I'm going to get good grades, get through school, get a pathway. I don't even have to go to college, but I want to have a job where I can at least afford to have a Mercedes-Benz. But if that's not what your goal is, maybe it's to go off to a higher institution of learning. Behind me, I have Indiana Wesleyan University. Guess what? You guys are going to become masters at long-distance learning and remote learning, virtual learning, however we want to phrase it. Indiana Wesleyan may be just the right fit for you. And teachers, here's one for you. If you've not started your master's program yet, that's another resource you may want to do. 12-month courses, hey, knock it out. It's one of those kind of things where we're trying to provide you the resources and the thought of going from a short-term, long-term goal to a SMART goal. We're going to get into SMART goal and what exactly that means in just a second. But on my short-term and my long-term goals, why do I want to finish high school? Why do I want to go on to a career? Why do I want to do these things? That's what we said. You own it. You own your education. You own your education. All right, don't forget, life is a competition, and I want you to play to win. All right, let's get into our SMART goals and what they truly are. All right, so SMART goals. The first thing you have to do is be specific. Be very specific. So let's take what we have here. Is my education for me to get a job. I'm going to walk around. I want you to take a look at all these places of business that are around me. I have Wendy's. I have a Hilton Garden. I have a hotel. I have one of my favorite pizza places of all time, Uno's. These are all service industries, and they hire constantly, and there's a very high need. And once this pandemic is over, the employment opportunities are just going to shoot through the roof. Same over here. Just take a look. We have B-dubs over here. We have more hotels. We have opportunities out the butt that we can absolutely get you prepared to have a job. That's why we do short-term and long-term goals. That's why we want to look to the future. Maybe it's not a Mercedes-Benz, but maybe that 2012 Honda Civic that's going to get you around. But you still have to have cash to pay for it. You still have to have goals. It has to be specific. So let's set an academic goal. I'm going to log in every day. It's a short-term goal because I got to get up, I'm going to log in. But then it's going to have long-term ramifications. That means, okay, in 5 years from now, when I'm out of high school, I can apply my SMART goal. Now, I want to go to college. I want to be in a trade industry. I want to have an internship. I want to have these opportunities that are going to allow me to have a better life. So being specific with it is very, very important. I have a very specific goal. Like I told you, wifey and I have the 3650 program. In 10 years from now, I'm going to be retired, and hopefully we have what's called our Christmas house. It's going to be a beach house where our kids can come, but I have to start planning for that now. And it's very important that we plan now. So how do we do that? Well, one, we have a budget. We make sure that we are budgeting what we need. For you, an academic budget is this. I'm going to take time to log in, look at the information, look at the resources, email my teachers, email my administrators. If I'm having tech problems, how do I solve these things? So that's where we start getting specific with our goals. And they are absolutely, you're going to love this one, measurable. I'm going to be able to measure my success. I'm going to be able to sit there and say, okay, is this goal measurable? That means, did I complete it during the day? So for your short-term goal, did I get up? Do I do all four of my classes? Did I get my assignments done? You could check the block and say, that's measurable. Did I have enough money for the down payment on the house? Check, that's measurable. Did I get my 3.5 GPA that I said I was going to get? Check the block, it's measurable. Measurable goals means that besides being specific, I can put a stamp on it and said, I accomplished this, I accomplished X. That is certain time, a certain date, or a certain measurement. So they're measurable. All right, the next one we're gonna get to, forgive me on the wind, because it's a nice little windy day out here. You know, that's another occupation that you could probably think about as being a meteorologist. You can be wrong 50% of the time and still have a job. All right, so attainable. Are my goals attainable? Okay, let's just put one out there. Are you gonna be a millionaire by 18? If you are, give me a call, okay? We need to talk. So that's probably not an attainable goal. So we wanna make sure that we can reach. The short-term goal of getting up and finishing my classes every day is very attainable. My long-term goal of getting a 3.0 or higher, very attainable. Making sure I get a job so I can start paying for college or start paying for a car, those are attainable goals. We want to make sure that you have a realistic approach to setting your SMART goals. Because if you don't, you're going to get frustrated. And that's the last thing you want, because frustration leads to failure. That's negative growth mindset. And remember, we're about positive growth mindset. So we want our goals attainable. We want to make sure that we can reach them. That takes us to our next one. Realistic. Okay, realistic. That's a little different than attainable. When you're being realistic to yourself, ask yourself, is it real? Am I going to be a chef at 19 years old? No. But could I be a sous chef? Yes. So the attainable part is I can be a sous chef. I've got to check myself and make sure that my realistic goals can happen. Again, you don't want to get caught into a spin cycle where you think that, okay, if I don't do this, I'm a failure. That's the last thing. That leads to frustration and leads you down paths of darkness that you don't want to go, and that's the negative mindset that we don't want you to have. That's why even though we're virtual, we're going to try and make sure that you see the opportunities that are about to come your way. You actually should think of it this way. This pandemic is probably going to be a gold mine for your age group. Because once this stuff goes away, economists are saying that job explosion is going to happen. Opportunity is going to happen. Guess what? Even in a natural disaster, say you go into construction or you go into culinary, the hurricanes that have hit in the South and in the islands, the Bahamas, it led to opportunities. Wifey and I are watching a show called Renovation Island, and this family is renovating an entire resort. They spent their entire life savings on a dream. Their SMART goal, imagine their SMART goal plan. We're going to take a rundown resort in the middle of the Bahamas, and we're going to turn it into a multi-million-dollar functioning resort. And they made it happen. But a hurricane hit the middle of their renovation. It led to opportunities. Even though it led to a lot of pain and loss and stuff, they turned it into an opportunity. And they hired 74 people from this island to be a part of their staff. They need culinary. They needed construction. They needed electricians. They do need cosmetologists because they have a spa. They need exercise science because they do have a gym. All of these opportunities can happen, and they're realistic if you believe it. That's where the SMART goals come in. You got to buy into it. Trust me, when you buy into the SMART goal philosophy and the positive growth mindset, lots of things can happen. That leads us to our last one. Timely. Timely. Set due dates for yourself. Even in the short-term, long-term goal philosophy, the short-term goal says, I'm going to do this in a timely fashion. I will accomplish this. For me, I'm going to give it to you straight. We do the I do, we do, you do, me do, I do, do. We do all this kind of stuff, but I'm going to give you an example of it. I've been tasked to do these videos in a short-term goal fashion because I have to turn around these videos so that we have 2 videos per lesson. We have to make sure that we have our lesson plans. I got them right here. We have to make sure that we do a little rehearsal so that we're giving you the information that is going to help you understand the lesson better. Timely goals make successful goals. So for this week, you're getting ready to come up onto your first weekend. What are you going to do to accomplish your goals in a timely fashion? Finish out the week strong. Get ready and prepare for next Monday. Make sure you're checking your emails on Sunday night. Make sure that you're setting dates for yourself. We already know that the semester ends. We don't know if this is going to be virtual for 9 weeks or 18 weeks, so let's plan for both. If we're back in the second quarter, okay, I need to make sure that I set certain goals. Make sure I have my uniforms. Make sure I have my materials. Make sure I turn back in my technology so that we have it when we get back. If it goes 18, then guess what? I need to make sure that I am getting into a routine in a timely fashion that I'm going to accomplish all of these goals in said time now. That means I'm going to get it done. and I'm going to have the positive growth mindset to make sure that it happens. You can do this, and we're going to do this together. That's why I'm out here to show you all the opportunities. I'm going to do another 360 review, and then after the video is over, I want you to have your teachers talk to you and review what your short-term goals were, what your long-term goals were, and how they relate to becoming SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So let's go back over it again. Whatever pathway you choose, there is a job in this area, in this 360 area that I'm going to show you, that has something for you. You may be a short order cook, sous chef at Uno's, Chicago's Pizza's finest. You may be a civil engineer. Look at the road work that has to be repaired. You may go into the construction industry. If you take a look over here, restaurants being renovated, it's being remodeled, construction, electricians, HVAC. You don't even have to go to college for that. They will pay you for that. And if you have your certification in construction, guys, some of these businesses will pay for your apprenticeship. They will. So we got Hampton Suites. We have customer service here. We have higher education. We have Indiana Wesleyan. And again, teachers, look at the resources if you've not started your master's. I have 5 classes to go. And then I get to move on to another one of my SMART goals. And that's, I really, after my master's degree, want to get my administrator's license and eventually some PhD and some type of educational reform. That's my goal. Those are my SMART goals. What if you want that Mercedes-Benz? Or what if you want to become a salesperson or an automotive technician? We opponents had one of our students actually get hired on by Mercedes. The average salary for a Mercedes-Benz technician is between $45,000 and $50,000 a year. How would you like to be 18 years old making $45K a year? That's a lot of bank for a lot of ride. And I'm telling you, these goals are achievable. I wish you the best, and I want you to follow your dreams, set SMART goals, and make sure that you stay in touch with us on these and share these ideas with us so we can get you the resources to make those dreams, those goals happen. All right. Remember, life is a competition. Play to win. Anderson out.